Hey there, friends and family. Dana Parker, otherwise known as Dana Spirit Butterfly, here with the 7th new moon cycle for 2021 energy forecast. Before I continue, I would like to pay my respects to the land that I'm sitting on today. We are on Bundjalung land, and I pay my respects to the Indigenous custodians of this land, those elders past, present and emerging, and recognise that sovereignty was never ceded. So, energy forecast. Why do we do an energy forecast? It is to recognise that we are more than just our brain technology, that there is energy that connects us and flows through all of us, and that belongs to all of us. And we are a part of this great mass of energy that exists between us. And when we take ownership or sovereignty of our own space and time, then our experience tends to flow better with our own unique technology. And that would be the way that you show up, the way that you express yourself, the way that you have emerged as the butterfly that you've been asked to be here as. And so I understand that if you are new to my videos, that some of the technology, or rather the words, which is of course a form of technology, that I use may not resonate with you, or you may not understand fully what they mean. And I want to just express that words are a form of energy, a form of vibration, and the words are designed to impart a certain type of energy that assists you on a soul level to understand what's available for you in life. And so while you may not fully understand some of the terminology that is expressed through my vocal cords, through my mouth, we will endeavor to assist you with energy to understand how this can work for you, specifically for your experience. And so before we dive in a little bit further or deeper, I just want to invite you, if you choose, to join me in a few breaths. We're just going to do a little bit of vocal toning just to assist you to drop into this you and me experience and exploration. And so even though I'm doing this in a completely different time or date or geographical location, you are here with me in order for me to do this work for you, for us, for we. So left hand, if you can, on your chest, and close your eyes if you feel comfortable. And I invite you just to breathe in through the nose. And if you feel comfortable, exhaling out through the mouth. And just doing this a few times with the intention just to be present in your body as you listen here into this energy forecast. As we call you into the space to be present with the you and me portal, this expression, so that we may dive into this energy forecast that aligns with the feminine energy of the moon cycle, the lunar frequency. And slowly just coming back into the physical form, please just gift me with your ears, maybe your eyes. The rest is just about being present. And so this energy forecast, the last moon cycle, of course, we've just come from a new moon cycle in Gemini, and we're now about to start a new moon in Cancer. The full moon was a full moon in Capricorn, and Capricorn regulates the home space. Spirit reminded me 2 energy forecasts ago that this last moon cycle, the one that we're just leaving, was very much about personal economy. I'll just explain a little bit about personal economy. Personal economy isn't always money, but it often is represented by money. And it talks a lot about your ability to hold energy, your ability to sustain energy in your field so that you can feel a sense of nourishment and receivership in this experience of life. And so it would not be news to you that the interactions of the experience of the greater oneness through ourselves in the collective experience. So out and about on the street, or, you know, listening to the news, or being involved in, you know, stock markets and such things. These interactions have been tainted by the association of a virus, and the Earth Mother is just reminding me that she was fully aware. She actually did warn me about this coming a while before. I didn't fully understand what she meant when she expressed it to me. The land gave me a beautiful picture that has helped me understand a lot more about how it's unraveled so far. But suffice it to say, a lot of us are heading north, and a lot of us are finding a space to breathe in spaces outside of the collective economy. And so just to translate that a little bit, the collective economy is essentially the way things were done before, the way that us as a collective, as a society, have generated income and have come to see ourselves as valued and valuable. There needed to be a transition in this expression, because where we were headed essentially was a sacrificing of the soul self in order to earn money, in order to feel safe, in order to create these containers that actually were perpetuating toxicity. And so toxicity is a conversation for another day, Spirit is telling me, but toxicity is something that we all have to deal with. It's all something that we're all going to have to work our way through as we start to heal our DNA aspects and the fractured self and the inner child, and we start to move forwards towards the new personal economy, your new personal economy. And so again, just to translate the personal economy thing, it actually doesn't matter what that means for you. It's really a dialogue for you to understand what personal economy is for you, because it's an unraveling process and an awareness process. Spirit is reminding me that a lot of us have had some technological experience in recreating new technologies of economy in past life experiences. And so we've been specifically asked to come down to assist the greater oneness, understand how the human spirit actually is the gift of the planet that it can be, if it's expressed through creation properly. And expressing ourselves creatively is actually honoring the experience of life. And very few of us actually know what true life looks like, because we live ourselves in these boxes called houses, and the houses have all of the electronics that it needs to be able to turn lights on and heating on, and all of those beautiful, cushy, comfortable, fabulous things. Spirit is reminding me, we are not encouraging you to let go of your comfort, but we are encouraging you to understand how your personal choices are impacting the greater oneness. And by that, we are talking about the environment. We are talking about the things outside your window, the animals that so many of you hold compassion in your heart for their experience. If you wish to honor the plants and the flowers and the trees and the grass and the beautiful blue sky and the fresh air and all of those beautiful, magnificent, adoration-like experiences that we can have on this planet, we need to up our game, and we need to get better with our own personal economy. And that means calling out the behaviors that you have that contribute to this toxicity on the planet. Again, this is a conversation for you to have with yourself, because only you know what that means for you. For me, it means not eating meat. And that's something that I consciously choose. My body helped me with that, though, because my body also doesn't properly digest the proteins of meat. And I learned that after a very long journey and exploration with my internal spirit. I started the process of realigning myself with my ultimate economy, which is source code frequency through meditation, and the processing of my grief. Every layer I shed, the awarenesses of what I need truly to feel safe, honored, well, and protected here, but also free to create, is a container that is of its own unique shape, and it's one that I haven't seen in other people's spaces yet. So, getting back to business, personal economy is where we've come from. So if you've just had a really horrific month, I'm sorry. I express that as a spirit channel, because also the Earth Mother just wants to say she takes full responsibility for the fact that a lot of the karmic shedding on the planet at the moment is by her design. So she is us, we are actually connected to her. So her as a personal economy is actually currently in a process of reassessing where her energy lies and where it flows. And so you'll notice this in the amassing of natural disasters, but she says she's not done yet. We've got until October to ride this particular wave. So ease up and breathe, be centered, be grounded, know what you stand for. Because as we head forwards, we're heading into the Lion's Gate, which is the 8th of the 8th of August. Every year I run an event, and I invite you to the one that I'll be running this year, of course. I'll post some links essentially on my channel. But the 8th of the 8th, the Lion's Gate, is actually a self-actualization portal. And it's a time where we get to fully, freely articulate our choices and our wants for ourselves. We articulate it in the external world so that the external world can create space for that for us. It is literally the lion's roar. And for many of you, because of what's happened over the last 2 or 3 years, your inner lion wants to roar. It has so many opinions, it has so much to say, and it has so much devastation and chaos that it's still carrying in its shadow. And so the Lion's Gate portal on the 8th of the 8th, on the 8th of August, is actually a brilliant and beautiful opportunity for us to express ourselves in true form. But there needs to be a little bit of clearing up, and that's what this moon cycle is about. So there's a lot of karmic grief still cycling on the planet that needs addressing. And when we talk about karmic grief, we will talk about those incidents when you meet people, or you have people or family or friends in your life where you haven't yet had those conversations, or circumstances will conspire to get you to have difficult conversations with people. And there's, as Spirit is saying, we're not done yet with you. Saturn is in retrograde. The ruler of karma is in retrograde until the 10th of October. So there is a mass amount of clearing still to do. And yes, if you're listening to this video, you are on the platform of clearing. So if you're having a difficult time right now, it is by divine design. It is your soul's calling to process the energy. Spirit is reminding me a few months ago, it had me connecting in with this idea of grief and grief processing. And indeed, all I seem to be talking about with my clients and with everybody is we need to be processing our grief. The grief is basically the shadow aspects, the stuff that's sitting behind me that I'm not willing to look at because I don't want to, because it's too difficult and it makes me uncomfortable. But I've got news for you, sister and brother. I have news for you. Life is not supposed to be comfortable. We're not supposed to be in our brick houses with our heating and our pleasure centers and only be that. We weren't supposed to only be that. Most of us were invited down here specifically because we have technology of healing. And the healer in itself is an interesting concept, because there's a lot of wounded healers at the moment that want to professionally heal people and want those clients, but they are not willing to look behind them in their shadow aspects and fully confront the elephant in their own respective rooms. And so I'm here to say to you, my sister, my brother, I understand if you are finally figuring out that you're here to have a difficult life path. Congratulations. It is tough with a capital mother freaking T. It is difficult. It is a difficult time on the planet. Please take a look around you. Everybody's having a hard time. I think the only people who aren't having a hard time are those that choose to still subscribe to the matrix, and they are still in the slavery system that means that they're working for the big man. And the big man doesn't really exist, of course. This is just the facade, the illusion, the Maya. But it's an analogy for giving away my personal power in order to serve a collective will that is not actually of my own will. And so we are, as the Earth Mother again is stepping forwards, the Lion Gate frequency is about father and mother energy reuniting to be a part of the gift of humanity. And it is the last throw before the end of the karmic clearing of the 2021 portal. Of course, the karmic clearing grids are rapidly speeding up. This is why there's so much solar flaring at the moment. But it's really important that you take personal responsibility for the land that you sit on. And the best way to do that, the most effective way to do that, is to come back to the I am here in the now presence. And this is a cultivated practice that I recommend you adopt. In fact, me as a spirit channel, while I'm still in the spirit channel, me, the human self, actually wants to implore you. I am tired of seeing so many people in my healing spaces who aren't able to move forwards because there's so many of you still refusing to receive the technology that shows you how to clear the energy that's in your field, but you're refusing to acknowledge the grief that's in your system. If you can't acknowledge the grief that's in your system, then you can't be a part of the healing. Healing in itself is a balance of light and shadow. In order to catch up the frequency of the lower spectrum of vibration that's on the planet, we need to embody the lower vibrations and raise it alchemically through the body into the higher aspects. And you have to acknowledge your childhood grief. I want to say that over and over and over. If you're having trouble with this, of course, please book me a session. I have a healing session that's really great for that. But of course, if you'd prefer some talk therapy and you'd prefer to understand how the nature of being flows through your unique aspect of soul code frequency, then I can also, of course, read for you, reading being my specialty. And I would love to read for you, something that I truly enjoy, and it's something that Spirit is always available for. So please don't be afraid. Spirit has reminded me, if you want to book a session, my online platform is www.danaspiritbutterfly, that's DANA spiritbutterfly.com, and there's a book now button. Of course, you can also subscribe to my mailing list, which will give you access to these videos and a number of other things, and please subscribe. So before we wrap up, we spoke about the Lion's Gate, this moon cycle. Spirit is saying it's going to be gentle, but you have to be careful of the ride. So when we say it's going to be gentle, being gentle with processing is actually a choice. So many of us resist change, and it's in the resistance of change that we get this cathartic resistance to grief. And so what happens is, if I resist the feeling of sadness or depression or those types of denser energies, if I resist those and it never goes away, then there's a certain amount of acceptance that this can change, that allows you to let go of the resistance of it being there, and in accepting that it is there will start the process of amassing to you the frequency of change that will assist you to reclaim that aspect of you that is the sacred vibration of your soul self. And we want that for you. Spirit really wants that for you. The other thing we also just want to mention, we are moving from a really heavy water sign energy, and so water energy as a frequency is emotional. It's also highly spiritual, because those of you who haven't yet figured out through my videos that emotions are energy in motion, and they are actually spirit form working through you. It's an energy of flow which is designed to go through you. It's not designed to come to you and to stay there. And so this means that any emotional feeling that you feel, the feelings themselves don't stay if you allow them expression through you. I'm a big fan if you're feeling feels that are overwhelming, or that you're not able to vocalize and understand why they're there. I'm a big fan of getting it out through a therapy like art therapy or dance therapy or ecstatic dance, if you like. Or sometimes a simple practice is simply through journaling or writing. And when you do that, it's really important that you honor your true self, and your true self includes and is not limited to that sacred voice of your inner feminine that is able to acknowledge that she is sad today, and that she has pain in her gut, and that she's misunderstanding what the circumstances are, or she's feeling misunderstood. And allowing yourself that opportunity to voice those sacred gifts of energy in motion through you will contribute to your reclaiming of the sacred feminine inside. It assists you to better understand the nature of being a woman and of understanding women as a man. It is a connectivity opportunity to be able to explore the self and to be able to understand relationships if you allow space for emotion and for feeling and for sensation and for genuine authenticity without attachment of blame, shame, or guilt, then you already have a beautiful recipe for healing on this planet. And so if I'm going to leave you with anything, please understand this next cycle is very much about preparing yourself for the future. You must allow this beautiful water sign frequency, Cancerian energy to flow through you. This feeling like you need to protect your natural soft and squishy center, very Cancerian, is actually very highly heavy on the planet at the moment. And so the only way through it to the Leo energy, to the true Leo essence, which is about leadership, and it's about being unafraid to speak your truth and to be able to express yourself and to find a passion for life that you crave, for the passion to relate to other individuals who align with you and are on a similar page. We wouldn't say the same page because you have your own journal, right? You have your own aspect and your own book inside of you. It's like your own TV show. And so be that for you, and understand other people have their own TV show and their own book and their own journal and their own expression and experience. They all have that. They have a complete, absolute right to have that. That's our birthright. But we are all like ships passing through the night, enjoying each other's company while we are here. And so allow yourself occasionally to pause and to open the door to spirit energy, to that emotional connectivity that flows between you and someone else, and be present for a little while with that person and just see, witness, notice, stay in peace, call to you, gentle, smooth and easy expression. And you will find that this next month will be actually quite a beautiful experience for you both. So kisses. You know where I am if you have questions. Spirit has just reminded me, just a heads up. So we'll post up the times and dates for the new moon cycle. We're really big fans of doing moon cycle ritual, and I have some information of that on my website and Facebook page. And of course, if you want to know more about the Sacred Feminine Rising, then I have the Sacred Sister Soul Circle group on Facebook. Please look us up, and don't forget to ask the questions. We actually do ask for a little bit before we actually let you in the gate, and it's because all things run in contracts, and it's important for you to show up in things and not just to sit back and just observe and not be in life. You actually have to participate in your own experience, and that means answering some questions and participating. So that's for you. We have an online sister circle on the 23rd or the 24th of July, depending on where you are actually geographically located. My States and Canadian brethren, sisters, I should call you, thank the Spirit. We welcome you, of course, to the online circles, and we're very gifted for the space holders that assist us with that. We had Jean Church helping us last time, and we may invite her back for this month. I have to tune into that. But she has such a beautiful energy and experience, and we do hope that you'll join us for a journey together and for some sisterhood, commune and expression to practice how we're going to help us grow and connect and rise. It's such a beautiful frequency. We also are committed to offering collective past life regression. I was drawn to past life regression about 5 years ago, I guess. Tony Riley is actually one of Australia's foremost past life regression teachers, and I trained with her, and so I have been holding space for past life regression experiences for quite some time, and I love to do it for the collective. So please join us there. You'll find that there's a lot of loops where people who sign up to those things all end up regressing together in the same space with similar recalls. It's actually quite magical. So if you'd like to join us, if you're curious about past lives and how this may be voiced through your own experience, then that'll be on the 30th or 31st of July, right at the end of the month, depending again on where you are located, because it's an online session. We are offering in-person circles. We have one in Seaford in August, and we also, Spirits also asked me to do a past life regression workshop and sound healing on the 22nd of July, which is a full moon. I'm actually really excited about it. It's something that's come out of the blue, and I feel really powerfully resonant with it. So I hope you can join us there at Leaf de Wellness in Seaford. It's actually such a beautiful venue, and Wendy, who runs the centre, is an excellent naturopath. So I'll put the details down there. There's also a series of beautifully abundant and beautiful technologies running through her centre at the moment. So if you need in-person sessions, my recommendation would be to head down and see what offerings are there right now, because there's a beautiful energy amassing there right by the seaside. We also are now resident in Byron Bay. As I mentioned, I'm on I always do this, Bunjalong on Bunjalong land. I was on Wurundjeri land before. The Indigenous spirit is very beautifully present here, and I'm really excited to work with a shaman here, and the sister circle work will grow here at some point. So we're also hoping to get some movement therapy, possibly just with women, but let's see how we flow with that. Check my notes. This is always the complicated bit. I think I'm done. And the last thing is just the Lionsgate on the 8th of the 8th, which is usually just a online call for a small amount of energy exchange. We like to hold that space because it can be quite magical and for some people life-changing. So do watch out for those sessions. We would, of course, welcome all of you who aspire to figure out who you are and why you're here, and to feel safe and held in a healing energy. It's my gift to you to be that facilitator, and I do hope that you will join us. So just once again, Dana Spirit Butterfly signing off, just remembering the spirit world loves you. Please build a relationship with the spirit oneness that surrounds you. When you do, you will never feel alone. Not truly. So kisses. My love to all of you, friends and family from Byron Bay. All right, see you.